What's up guys, Dakota here and welcome back to the Driven Mad channel. So in today's video, kind of a midweek upload, we're back in the garage for just a quick discussion on what we know about the just recently kind of teased hybrid Corvette. So but what I thought I'd do is just kind of talk about what we know about the car as far as just what we could tell from the teaser and just general things that we kind of know about it. And then from there, we'll kind of move into things like power and pricing. So let's go ahead and talk about what this car is. So obviously, it's a hybrid. Now, things that we know about the car that we can just right away tell whether you have no insight at all into the into Chevrolet or whether you just watch the video. Clearly, it has the wide body from the Z06. You can see that in a couple of different pictures, as well as obviously in some of that leaked online configurator stuff. You saw that as well. So, wide body from the Z06. Now, you can't really see the rear. They don't give you a real clear look. It won't have the same rear as the Z06 as far as like the center exhaust, because that was specifically done for Z06, and they did that for a multitude of reasons to save weight as well as to kind of make it sound how they wanted it to sound. With the hybrid one, naturally weight savings isn't really there because you're adding electric motors and a electric battery. It's going to have a new wheel design, a new 5-spoke forged wheel design, and the availability of carbon fiber wheels as well as carbon ceramic brakes, which, if you guys pay attention to any of the Corvette stuff, you cannot get on a regular Stingray. There is no way you can get carbon ceramic brakes on a regular Stingray, only on Z06 at the moment. As well as, obviously, you can have an electric mode. It literally shows in the clip, choose how you want to start the car. So you can start it up in electric mode, drive it off out of your neighborhood at early in the morning, not wake anybody up, and then once you get out of the neighborhood, fire up the 6.2, and there you go. So talking about 6.2s, this engine sounds exactly like the current engine that's in the standard Stingray, which is the LT2 6.2 liter V8. It's going to be that same powertrain, just with some hybridization. You can hear it. It sounds identical to that in the clip there, as well as this car is supposed to slot between Stingray and Z06. So it's kind of replacing the Grand Sport. And the Grand Sport has always kept the same engine as the regular Corvette. Other things that we know about the car, being a hybrid, it's going to have all-wheel drive. They show that. I mean, they basically tell you it's going to have all-wheel drive without saying it's going to have all-wheel drive in that clip. But we also know it's going to be all-wheel drive. Now, whether it's going to be two motors at the front powering each wheel or just one electric motor powering both, that we don't know. But either way, it's going to be the first ever hybrid Corvette and the first ever all-wheel drive Corvette from the factory. So that'll be cool. That also means 0 to 60 should be stupid fast, just because obviously the all-wheel drive, as well as having the immediate torque. That also means it's going to be heavier. It'll be the heaviest C8 Corvette as of yet. There's also 3 new colors that we know for sure, because the blue that they have in that teaser video is not as dark as Elkhart Lake Blue, and it clearly isn't Rapid Blue like on my C8. So it's a new blue. There's also going to be some weird kind of green, pastelish green, as well as a new gray color. 3 new exterior colors for sure. A new 5-spoke wheel design that may get carried over to other models, don't know, but for sure it's going to debut on this hybrid Corvette. And you will be able to option and spec carbon ceramic brakes. Getting out of the things that we know for sure, let's get into some of the stuff that we're not necessarily too sure on. So we're going to start that off with power. So again, not knowing if it's going to have 2 electric motors or just one powering the front wheels, or even an electric motor to help spin the drivetrain. Like on some hybrid vehicles. I would go with the fact, as far as power goes, the standard Corvette with the standard Stingray makes 495 horsepower with the performance exhaust, and then the Z06 makes 670. Chevy does some weird stuff, like announcing a third Corvette when they can't really keep demand with either the other ones that they've already announced. But you would assume that they wouldn't bring this car out that soon after the Z06 and have it make more power. Again, this is supposed to slot in between the two. So my guess is if the standard Corvette makes 495, this car is going to come in somewhere around 575, 590, somewhere in there. You know, so quite a bit more power and more torque than the standard car, but not as much as the Z06. And this car may accelerate more quickly to 60 than both the standard Stingray and the Z06. But, you know, from, let's say, 80 onwards, the Z06, being that it will be lighter because there's no electric battery or motors, and more horsepower, will be able to go faster beyond that speed. Power-wise, I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere around the 575, 590. This isn't supposed to be the ultimate fastest Corvette. It's supposed to slot in between the two. Now, could be wrong. We'll see on Tuesday. They're going to announce this car, at least when I'm filming this, next week on Tuesday at around 10 a.m. So we'll see if I'm totally correct or if I'm way off base. I think I'm pretty safe there. Now let's get into pricing. Again, this is supposed to replace the Grand Sport. So pricing wise, traditionally the Grand Sport has always been about $10,000 more than the standard Corvette. However, the Grand Sport previously has only just been wide body from, say, like Z06, wheels and tires and suspension changes and brake changes. Whereas you're getting all that with this one as well. However, they're also adding the hybridization, the electric motors. You're getting a lot more. You're also getting more power. Pricing wise, if a regular Grand Sport was always a 10 grand hike over, and if this is supposed to slot in between Z06 and Stingray, then the Z06 and Stingray is a $40,000 price difference from starting price to starting price. You have 105 over here, and then basically 64, 65 on the base Stingray. So naturally, that 40 grand, you split that in half, $20,000 difference between each two, which I think that's probably pretty fair, pretty close to around $85,000 to $90,000. Now, some of you might think that doesn't make sense, but GM, they may do some weird stuff, but they see what people are paying for regular Corvettes. The starting price of $64,000 is, I mean, you can buy Tahoes and Suburbans and pickup trucks and all kinds of things for more than that money. The average price for a C8 that people are paying is, you know, 80 and above anyways. So if they come out with this car and it starts at 85 and you're talking about 0 to 60 in, you know, well under 3 seconds. Here's something else that, again, don't know, but I would bet money on. I guarantee you, even though this car is getting announced a little over a year after the Z06 got announced, but Z06 deliveries are actually slowly, very slowly happening. I guarantee you, it will be easier to get the hybrid Corvette than the Z06. Even though the Z06 was announced prior, I guarantee you, when they announce this car, it will be a lot easier to get a hold of a hybrid Corvette. I don't know that, but I would be willing to bet money that GM will be wanting to build more of them with their push to EVs. I mean, hell, they've even got commercials showing EV vehicles only that you can't even buy. But with that push, I suspect you'll be able to get a hybrid Corvette a lot easier than a Z06. So as far as pricing, again, I think that's kind of where it's going to be. We'll see if I'm right. Like I said, mainly just wanted to make this video just because, again, as I mentioned in my Raptor video where we talk about the Raptor R, it's kind of like sitting down and just hanging out with the cars and talking cars. With that being said, what do you guys think? Do you think the car is cool? I'm personally actually pretty excited about it. I didn't expect that, but I am kind of excited for it. So yeah, what do you guys think? You guys excited for it? You guys don't really care? Like I said, I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, just leave a comment down below and let me know. And obviously next Tuesday, we're going to find out how right or wrong I was. So we'll see if this was a massive waste of time for me to make or not. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little conversation. And if you did, just give it a like and subscribe for more videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.